Hello and welcome to Dollhouse. From my Greenleaf furniture kit from 1982, I'll assemble the stove. It will be black cast iron. This piece actually has a lot of pieces. If you have watched any of the videos on this series, the steps will be pretty repetitive. But for first-time watchers, here is how it goes. Select all pieces corresponding to your item according to instructions. Punch them out of the board by pushing from front to back. Sand each piece until they acquire the smoothness that you desire, sanding with special attention on the edges, as this will unite with other pieces. Here are all the pieces of the puzzle. I am using carpenter's wood glue. You may choose a different type of adhesive. Not right or wrong. It is a personal preference. With hot glue, you don't have to wait for drying, but if you get it wrong, it is difficult to reposition the pieces. Glue goes on the back of the stove to attach it to the right side. The amount of glue needs not be excessive. And here my Lego blocks help me keep the angles and corners straight. This way it is easy to put together the rest of the pieces. And the same process for the left side of the stove. This is the division between the top range and the oven side. And this is the range. This is where the burners will be. Not too much glue, like I said, but it is important that I apply in every surface that touches other pieces. This will make for a very strong finished piece. Sometimes the glue goes on the sides, and sometimes it goes on top. Take the time to see how it shall be. And then when you're done, check for square corners. This is the division between top and bottom chambers of the oven. As you can see, it is starting to take shape. This piece is the bottom. Let's see how easily it fits. Very well. A little glue on the bottom will not hurt. Remember that you can paint over wood glue, and that's one of the reasons why I choose it. If all was done right, the face of the stove should also fit with ease and no struggles. It does fit, and I must hold it together for a bit. When it wants to settle crooked, it is my job to keep it straight. I believe that this little piece is the spice shelf, and it fits very snug. And this will be the top of the oven, also to be used to hold cookware and utensils. Because this stove is cast iron, I am using multi-surface acrylic paint, color black tie. Perhaps it would have been better or easier to paint the pieces before assembly. But it's one of those things that you never know. Sometimes if you paint them before, they no longer fit if they are precisely cut. They may not interlock together well. It is up to you how you want to make it, of course. I do not want a particularly smooth finish because cast iron was not very smooth, especially during the era of my house, which is around 1920 or even a little bit earlier. On the outer flat surfaces, I will try the sponge for faster advance of the project. This is the cast iron stove, already painted and now drying. Since this stove should be in the style of the Downton Abbey kitchen, I will be using this leftover piece of store-bought bathroom tile. I will cut to the size of this area and also above the spice shelf. This small piece will suffice. Here are my 2 pieces of black backsplash. Since I already have my wood glue out, I will be using it for the backsplash as well. The rectangle is cut exactly the same on both sides, top and bottom, so it really doesn't matter which way I drop it in. And the same thing goes for the top. And now it is being held with clothespins until it dries. If we do not want the door to open and close, this would be it. But of course, ours has to be functional, so I must figure out a way to make hinges, which is not easy. I'm looking at stoves from that time period. I found that the burners were pretty flat. Good. This is a good opportunity to use rounds from my woodsy bag of different shapes. Place them on tape so I can paint them. The 2 big burners I will set on the back and the 2 small ones on the front. And here you have it. These packs of glass beads from the dollar store. The beads have a perforation in the center, making them a cylinder. A sewing pin fits perfectly in the cylinder. The top of the pin stops it from falling through. Cut the pin at the bottom. For this part, I will use E6000 glue. I'll attach 1 bead to the stove only, the next bead to the door only, and so on alternating. Same thing for the bottom door. And here is the moment of truth. If the hinges work, I should be able to open and close the doors with ease. Ah, they do work. I am very pleased. This is the finished stove. Let's put some kitchen cookingware on the range. Since this kitchen has a lot of copper. A pot on top, some utensils, a spatula, a spoon, and a mixer. Salt on the spice shelf, a cheese grater, a bottle of oil, a can of green beans, and a box of flour. Let's open the oven and surprise! There is a cake already being baked. Do let me know what you think by leaving a comment. We do appreciate them. And do not leave without subscribing. And thank you very much for stopping by and watching from Dollhouse.